The Mayo Experience.
That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. That Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience. Today, we're taking sports and chucking that aside. We're talking reality TV bracket. The Ringer just put one out. It is still ongoing as we speak, and I'm not too concerned about the actual voting results because I want to talk through who I think and who Ashley Docking thinks is going to be the champion. So if you out there want to help out the show, smash the like button to the video and you tell me in the comment section who you think is the best reality TV character of all time. It's that easy. Also, subscribe to the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast and rate and review. That really helps out too. Ash, what's up?
What's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm grinding. I'm grinding content every single day. So when stuff like a reality TV bracket comes out that I can talk about, I'm in my glory.
It just fell in your lap. I'm surprised that you weren't in the villain bracket of reality TV personalities.
Well, I guess, yeah, if you break it down, like how do you constitute what is and what is not reality TV? Like, are game shows reality TV? Because, like, Survivor's on this, and Survivor's a game show.
With that old, what's it called? Family Feud host. All those women were fighting for their lives every time he made them kiss him.
Oh, Richard Dawson.
Yeah.
But, like, why isn't...
yeah.
But like,
that
why
was like
isn't,
Survivor.
Yeah, why isn't, like, Trebek on here? Or Pat Sajak?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they don't count.
I guess so. Was there any glaring omissions to you from this list? And people can find it up at theringer.com if they want to go do it, or go vote in the actual reality TV bracket. I think by the time this comes out, it's going to be into round 3. But... you know who is a big omission to me, like just right off the top, and maybe it's because I love the show, maybe no one else did. It's Dave Hester from Storage Wars, the guy who's just like, yep. That guy had a last. His yep still has a lasting impact to this day.
Catchphrases do count. I was reviewing the list before I jumped on with you, and I was going to say that if you do have a catchphrase and something that has kind of infiltrated the public subconscious, that it makes you more likely to win or advance, in my opinion. Who was the one guy, the old guy who won Survivor? Wasn't there like some guy named Rudy?
Oh no, Rudy was from season 1. Richard Hatch won that year.
Richard Hatch. He's not in this.
No, he should be. You're right.
That was kind of an omission for me, but otherwise I think they pretty much covered all the bases.
Like if they had like, because there is basically a villains bracket. They call it an antagonist bracket, but like Puck from Real World San Francisco from like the early 90s was like the very first reality TV villain. He should really be on here. I don't know why like Honey Boo Boo is. And I mean, I get why Honey Boo Boo is.
You leave Honey Boo Boo alone.
I just think that Puck had more of a lasting impact. Without Puck, these people don't exist.
I think there's a case to be made that there's a few real like godfathers or godmothers, if you want to call them, on this list that people don't give enough credit to in this current day. So it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Okay, so just right off the hop, if you just, without looking at the seating, looking at the brackets, anything like that, if you had to put 2 people in the finals of the best reality TV stars ever, who would be number 1 and who would be number 2? Who would be your final matchup, do you think?
Oh man, I think I would go Simon Cowell and Kim Kardashian.
Okay, I think Kim Kardashian's a lock to be in it, but I think the Situation's the best reality TV character of all time.
I think that it depends on kind of what they did after to a certain extent.
Why though?
Right? Because that does matter. Because if you're going with just reality TV show queens, then technically Paris Hilton set the stage for Kim Kardashian. And sure, but if you're talking about catchphrases, Paris Hilton has one and Kim Kardashian she cries. She's a crying meme. I don't know if that counts as a catchphrase.
It also goes to personal preference too. Like, yeah, if you just judge it by like how big they are. Like, I prefer Nicole Richie to Paris Hilton.
Yes. Although her mixtape that she just dropped, down the ladder.
Not good?
I didn't love it.
Well, I see. I don't think we can hold what they do after whatever reality show is against them. Like, if that was the case, like Cardi B would be number 1 on this list because she went on to have like a career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, personal preference does play into it. I guess it just depends on how much of that fame is linked directly to the reality TV show. So like Bethany Frankel, for example, she's super famous. She's a Real Housewife, but I know her more from the skinny bitch wine or vodka or whatever the case may be. So I don't know if that counts her as the biggest reality star. Does that make sense? Even though she wouldn't have got those opportunities without it. So, it's a bit convoluted.
Yeah, well, like she had the product, which she sold because she was on Real Housewives of New York. Then she had like a spin-off show with that guy from $1 Million Listing New York, and I think that got canceled.
Oh, I never heard of it, so
yeah,
canceled.
Well, I fell into a very good situation with this because when I was younger, I watched a lot of reality TV. So all like the older ones I have covered. And when I watch TV with my wife, these are like the shows she watches. So I'm like up to date on like Top Chef, all these house flipping shows. I know who all the housewife shows. I know who all these people are. It's great. There's like very few people on this list I can say like, I don't know who that is, which makes me kind of sad in a way.
When you sent it to me, I was super proud of myself. I was like, wow, I know all these names. I have to do like no research. Not that I was gonna do like a ton of research anyways, no offense. But I was like, am I a loser?
No.
Am I a loser for knowing who every single one of these people are?
It would be a loser type thing if we weren't doing a show about it. That's how people get away with their loserdom these days. They've turned it into multimedia, and that way that they can say, you know what, like I'm working because of this, so leave me alone.
I'm an expert.
Exactly.
Paid expert. You can put me on the witness stand.
Exactly. So Big Brother is the only one of these that I don't watch, really.
Okay.
Do you watch Big Brother?
I've seen a couple seasons, yeah.
Did you see the one with I think there's only one Big Brother person on this.
Who's the person?
It's some old dude. It's a doctor of some sort.
Oh, I don't think he's actually old, though.
Oh, he's not?
I think he was like a handsome young doctor, but obviously that's like the most of my recollection. What bracket is he in?
I think he's in the villains bracket. Let's see here. Yeah, Dr. Will Kirby.
What number?
6 seed in the antagonist bracket.
Yeah, I think he's young.
Oh, either way.
I think he had a relationship with like this blonde girl who was really good at one of like the very specific type of challenges.
Oh. He went up against my guy Jax in the first round. I just assume Jax wiped the floor with him, but I don't know.
I like Will Kirby.
You do?
I remember him. He's a dermatologist, not a doctor. Well, he's a doctor, but he can't help you on an airplane.
No, apparently he lost to Jax in the first round, so I'm happy about this.
Okay.
As someone who loves Vanderpump Rules, so the way that this went down, people got really upset about how the results were tabulated because people who, like, I was looking on Twitter about it, and there was a Twitter poll that you could vote in, but there was also a Facebook poll and an Instagram poll, so they just added all the votes together to find out who won, but people on Twitter didn't seem to understand that. So there was a couple people who won the Twitter poll but lost overall, and then they're calling it fake news and rigged.
Because, people really underestimate the amount of folks that are on Facebook, eh? Like a lot of people our age and definitely younger are like, oh, Facebook's for like old people and our parents. And, you can just get like articles that people haven't vetted and they repost for you to follow based on the link. But it's still a really popular platform. So I'm sure a ton of votes came from there.
Yeah. But like every platform skews a little bit differently because the Ringer is putting this out. I know that they have a gigantic male over female like ratio to audience, but I would guess that's highly pronounced on Twitter rather than Instagram. I would say it's a bit more like 50-50 on Instagram. It might even lean towards female. And on Facebook, who the hell knows? Like, I don't know how many 80-year-olds are voting in this. But like Instagram really flipped the tides on a lot of these. Like in the very first matchup, like the headliners matchup, the 1 seed Kim Kardashian went up against Dog the Bounty Hunter. And Dog the Bounty Hunter won on Twitter. But
no, he didn't on Twitter.
He did.
Even still, that's insane.
Well, you forget how big the dog was.
No, I remember. I used to watch all the time. They were trying to get ice off the streets. They were trying to do good by the public, okay? Beth was the first lady of reality TV for a hot second.
Beth, R.I.P. She gone.
I know. As I was saying it, I was like, I think she passed away, but she was a big deal too. People who had been living in I don't even know where in the United States, who had been doing big hair and ice pink lipstick, they were thriving in that time.
I think they were in Hawaii, weren't they?
They were. I'm just talking about everyone else who adopted that style.
That would be a tough go. You're watching reality TV and you're like, you know what? I need a style update. I'm going to go with Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife. That's my look. That's a tough look.
You're saying Dog would have been better.
Potentially. I mean, just having a really volume-esque mullet. I think some people could pull it off at least.
I think it's 50-50 split.
So, trying to see here. Did you watch?
What do we got next?
What's that? Say that again.
I said, what do we got next?
Okay, so Kim Kardashian won that one. And
Okay.
like I would have Kim Kardashian go into the finals. Like,
Yeah,
think-
has to. She's all the way for sure.
so like they had the Kardashian show. They built a career off being on reality TV. Her dad/mom gets a show off of it. Very much canceled. You know who the other big miss is from this? Like, I think like Kris Jenner's on this. She's a 2 seed. Kim Kardashian's a 1 seed. My favorite person from the Kardashians is Scott Disick. It's not even close.
Yeah, but he's a supporting cast member and he doesn't have his own show. And the most interesting thing about him / controversial is the fact that his girlfriend is like 12 years old. And for somehow people just like look the other way. Lionel Richie, looking at you, buddy.
Well, how she's not actually like 12 years old. She's like 19, isn't she?
At the time, they've been together for a long time. She was cusp. She was on the cusp, just like Tyga and Kylie, okay? There was some eyebrows being raised, I think.
Scott Disick does have his own show. It's called Flip It Like Disick. I've seen one episode.
That's new.
It's a house flipping show.
You've seen one episode, so you're a big fan.
So, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Flip It Like Disick. He was on Rob and China's show.
Oh, right. I forgot about Rob and China. And then Rob got the socks.
And then he got the sads, then he got the socks.
No, it's the other way around.
But like Scott
He got
Disick's
the socks,
like
then the sads.
Scott Disick's a great character. He's like the one, I don't want to say redeemable because he is not redeemable whatsoever, but that's half the fun.
Yeah, I think that he's one of these tragic heroes that you continually think will turn a corner and somehow be better. And we haven't really seen that, although he has matured lately. I think like watching the later Kardashian episodes, you're like, okay, more of the things that you're doing are, you know, in all fun and games as opposed to really maybe having a problem. But wasn't he in rehab or something? He was an alcoholic.
I think I don't know if he was an alcoholic or he was on pills or whatever it was. He seems like someone who's been to rehab like 25 times.
Yeah. Just has his own sweet name on it.
Yeah, he's going to be like Betty Ford. He's just going to open up his own rehab center just so he can go walk in and out whenever he wants.
Don't you think that would be the funnest rehab center ever? That's what he should do, the Scott Disick Rehab Center, where you're off the substances, but you still get to have, you know, a little fun on the side.
Yeah, some goofy hats, some pimping canes, walking around like an idiot at all times. Yeah, that'd be great.
Shotgunning Red Bulls.
Yeah, Scott Disick is a massive miss here. So we got like the next one. The next one is Jessica Simpson and Boston Rob from Survivor.
It's not even close. Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson did what? I mean, Boston Rob feel like he's the biggest Survivor person.
No, it's Jessica Simpson. The biggest Survivor person is Jeff Probst, the host.
Or what's her face from The View, or the girl who used to be on The View, Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Yeah. So the fact that we're even able to poke holes in your theory immediately means that he's not the biggest character on it. So it has to be Jessica Simpson over him. And I'm actually surprised that she's ranked under him at 9. What was it? Tuna's like the chicken of the sea or something like that was her famous catchphrase.
Yeah, it was.
And that was her Daisy Duke era where just like she was the hottest girl in the history of the world at that point in time.
Was that peak Jessica Simpson being on the reality show with Nick Lachey?
I think so. I think it was when she did the Dukes of Hazzard situation and everyone was just like, oh my God, she's eating Carl's Jr. and has a body like that. How does she do it?
Yeah, it turned out that didn't last. Oh, too much Carl's Jr., I think.
She had kids, asshole.
So did Kim Kardashian. She's doing great.
Oh yeah, all natural snapback, I'm sure.
And Khloe looks better than ever.
Yeah, just the gym every day at 6.
That was the other one. That the what was the Khloe show? The like angry bod with Khloe Kardashian. Revenge bod. See, they're milking a lot of money out of these reality shows.
Yeah, it's smart. It's smart business, which is actually why low-key it might be Kris Jenner who's the queen of all this.
Well, and Ryan Seacrest has the exec producing credit on all of them. So he might actually be the one who should be the 1 seed.
Is he on this?
Yeah, he's on this. He's under hosts, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Somewhere.
What else did he host?
American Idol.
Oh my God. Thank you. I was like, all I think about is him on the radio.
Yeah, he does everything. I don't know if this guy sleeps. He might actually be in that situation, like the movie The Prestige, where he just has a secret twin brother, and they just like split up the duties as one person.
There's something robotic about him for sure. I don't trust him. If you wanted me to do a reality show, I would for sure do it. Absolutely, Ryan. I love you, but otherwise, don't trust him.
You say Ryan Seacrest, he's hiding something?
I'm just saying, like, how are these people all so successful? And they all keep the money in their own little circle. It's kind of mafia-esque, if you ask me.
Yeah, well, he came up.
I also have been watching The Sopranos, so
So
take that for what it's worth.
so everything is mafia related now?
I'm just saying, once your eyes are open, you never know.
Have you watched anything? Like, what are you watching besides The Sopranos?
Nothing. I'm just on a straight up binge watch, to be honest with you. Like, that's just been my life for the last few days. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, after you finish Sopranos, you go into like Mad Men.
No, I need a break. Actually, I hate Mad Men.
How do you hate Mad Men?
It's just the worst. Like, I don't enjoy it at all. I watched a couple seasons of it. I really gave it a shot, and I just didn't love it. It was just the same shit every single episode, again and again and again.
That is such a horrendous take. Let's get back to bad reality TV takes.
Okay.
So it was Paris Hilton versus Nicole Richie in the first round. Paris won, but people don't respect Nicole Richie. Like, she's actually funny.
Nicole Richie was the star of that show. Paris kind of just was the vessel, right? And Nicole Richie was the gas in the situation. Because do you remember, like, if you think about her just development after that show, because she was on drugs for sure. She was definitely drinking. She was a little bit bigger. She was engaged to that DJ that they ended up breaking up. And then she went on to, she slimmed down a little bit too much, but then seemed to regain a healthy lifestyle. But the reason that we know all this was just because we cared about her so much in The Simple Life.
Yeah, she had, what was the show that I was watching that had her in it? Was it Great News? No, it was like a fake reality show that she started. That was actually quite funny. Now I can't remember what the hell.
Yeah, I know the one that you're talking about, and I don't remember the name of it, but they were like news anchors, right?
Yeah, Great News was the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of funny.
Yeah, no, I think she's good. I think she is funny. I just think that specifically that one album that she just dropped, which is kind of like in the vein of Weird Al, I guess. It's a rap album. Was a miss for me personally, but otherwise I love her.
Ow, that just kind of clued me into, who's just not represented on this list at all, despite being one of the biggest reality shows? Any of the Osbournes.
Yes, they had a big moment, didn't they?
They were the reality show. Yeah,
and it would be Sharon, right? Over Ozzy?
Yeah. What was the daughter's name?
Oh man.
Kelly Osbourne?
Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, it would be
and
Sharon.
Who was the son, Jack?
Yeah, Jack. I saw him on a plane once. Weird looking guy.
Did you say hi?
No, I did not.
Do you say hi when you see like celebrities? And I know that Jack's like a loose term for that, but he's still notable. But like, are you someone to be like, hey man, like, how's it going? Or do you do the full, like, just, oh, I noticed who that person was, but I'm too cool because I have the Pat Mayo experience kind of thing?
No, I mean, I just wouldn't want to, put it this way. People have come up to me before, which is the weirdest thing in the world. Be like, hey, Pat, like, watch the show. It's like, that's great. And it's like the most awkward interaction that you can ever have with anyone, because it's always in a really random place when you're actively doing something. Like,
did this happen to you in the washroom?
It's happened to me.
Is that what you're specifically talking about?
It happened to me at the most awkward one. I was at Bloor and Young walking home, or I was walking to the gym, wherever it was. I just got off the subway. Someone stopped me in the middle of the crosswalk. Like, well, the lights were changing. Like, wanted to chat for 5 minutes. Like, we are in the middle of the street. Like, we need to go somewhere else. Like, this cannot happen right here. But so I don't want to bother people because I know that I don't love being bothered. Like, I sat next to Martin Short.
Oh, you poor celebrity.
I know, it's tough.
Oh, my heart goes out to you.
I sat next to Martin Short on a plane coming back from New York. Like, I don't know, probably before the new year. So probably like August, something like that. And like, I didn't talk to him. I was like, I don't want to bother Martin Short. He's
okay.
probably
I respect it.
Probably got it. The only one I did harass was Wilson Cruz. Didn't really harass him. I just told him I liked his work. He was working out next to me while he was up here filming Star Trek Discovery. That guy is fucking ripped. It's incredible.
I don't know who that is.
He was on My So-Called Life. He's on Star Trek Discovery now.
Let's see. I'm not a big Trekkie, you know?
I mean, and yeah, My So-Called Life would have been early 90s, so lasted a year.
I think I was too busy watching Are You Afraid of the Dark, during those formative years of life.
I suppose so. So going down this.
Okay.
Did you Google him?
I did. Don't know who that is.
Okay, fair enough.
I do not know that man.
The next one's tough because Nene Leakes is a 4 seed. You could argue that she should be a lot higher, but then Kate Gosling is a 13 seed. Like, she inspired the Karen haircut for the world.
So I would have to go with Kate, but only because I don't really know that much about Mrs. Leakes. You know what I mean? Like, I never really watched her a ton. And so for me, it was Kate for sure, just because she gave birth to like 8 children.
And she had that haircut.
She had to mother 8 children at the same time. She had that haircut. She had that deadbeat husband who's like, I just want to be a DJ, man. She's like, are you kidding me? You're a fucking DJ, John. This is what we're looking for right now. So I just think that I'm going to go with Kate in this one, but I feel like you could make an argument for the social media contribution of Nene, and that would put her over the top of Kate. Like, this one is one I wouldn't argue with one way or the other.
Well, Nene Leakes, she is the biggest star on the Biggest Housewives show.
Yeah.
That means something.
And she has a cool story too, right?
I don't know what her story is.
I don't want to like defame her. I feel like she used to be like a dancer. Is that true?
I don't know. See, this I did know.
See, I do know a little.
If I watched
like
more Real
like
Housewives of Atlanta, I'd probably know this.
Okay, so I'm just going to go. She's a personality actress. I feel like, I hope that wasn't a lie.
Yeah, you're just throwing straight up shade at Nene Leakes.
No, but I feel like it's not a bad thing. I think there's a lot of, we were just talking about Cardi B. You know, she was a dancer at one point, and so was what's that other girl? Azalea?
I don't know who that is.
Iggy Azalea?
Sure.
I don't know.
Is that music?
Yeah.
Yes.
She's
Okay.
a rapper.
I'm old. I don't listen to current.
Yeah,
music.
she did. Okay, Real Housewives of Atlanta star Nene Leakes worked as an exotic dancer for years and views the experience as empowering. You never make the same mistake twice in her memoir, 2009, and what prompted her stripping. She explains it. Okay, yeah, good. So no defamation. Right. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm fine with either. I use like GIFs of Nene all the time, so I don't use Kate GIFs.
No one's using Kate GIFs. It would be very bad if you were using Kate GIFs at someone. That would be like a mean thing.
And Kate's now Karen, so technically her crown has shifted to another generic white woman name.
I mean, she should really just legally change her name. Maybe that way she can get back in the news.
She should just put on like a secret camera and just go and talk to managers all over town. Demand to see how things. Demand to see the manager. Demand refunds and action, immediate action, and write strongly worded letters.
How big on the Hills were you?
Huge on the Hills. Huge.
So who was your squad from the Hills? Like which side did you land on?
Definitely like, you mean like Lauren versus Heidi?
Yeah.
Lauren for sure. Lauren for sure. But I think Lauren was like.
Lauren got a 6 seed in this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a little bit high, just because out of all the reality shows, this one was like, they're all staged, obviously, to an extent, but like this one was like exceptionally staged. And I think that I would knock points off for Lauren, because really and truly, she wasn't the star of the OC. It was Kristen Cavallari, right?
Yeah.
So I just feel like, yeah, she had a really popular show and I was all in on it, but she was like the Robin to Kristen's Batman, you know? And Kristen got a 4 seed.
Yeah, and Kristen has another reality show. And she's getting divorced now.
I know, from Smoking Jay. How are you doing with that news?
I just hope good things. I still want to see Smoking Jay on TV. He's a great reality TV character.
He's very funny. Did you hear about their drama in the Bahamas, though, at the start of COVID? Are you like up on all that news?
I just saw that they were stuck on an island, and then when they got back, they're now getting divorced.
Were they stuck, though? That was what they were claiming, but flights were still, I read a whole thing on it. Flights were still going in and out of the Bahamas. They could still have gotten home. They were posting nice photos, enjoying their vacation with, I think maybe her stylist was there, either stylist or hairstylist. And I heard that from my sources, that they wouldn't leave. And so the staff had to stay and couldn't go home to their families.
Well, when you're as rich as both of those two, then you can do whatever you want.
I guess, but they're liars who lie. So here we are. It's what you get. A divorce. No, I'm just kidding. I wish them both the best.
So we have Lauren Conrad, Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson is probably most definitely going to do really well in this bracket, I would feel.
Kelly Clarkson, yeah, she's big time, because she's someone who also was just like, I don't care what you guys say I have to look like. I'm just going to do me, right? She has a talk show now.
I saw that. And I saw that it's like she's doing it via Zoom. Like it's not just canceled.
No, I saw it at the dentist's office, and I think my exact words were, "Kelly Clarkson had a show." The dental hygienist like, "Excuse me," and I was like, "Get the shit like away from my teeth." I was like, "How does Kelly Clarkson have a show?" That was the biggest news of the day.
Have you turned into like your like? I think my wife is turning into my grandma with the shows that she's watching like during the course of the day. Like she's one step away from watching Judge Judy and like all of the judge shows. I think like she's watching.
Is Judge Judy on here?
No, but she really should be.
Then we can start with that because
I didn't even think of Judge Judy.
Well, now we have her on the list, and she could replace a lot of these people.
She could be a 1 seed. She is. I think she is the richest.
Easily.
I think she is the richest reality TV star.
Like, get off Chip and Joanna. Get off TJ. No offense. I know you're a big challenge guy, but
yeah,
Judge Judy?
Tej would not have been my choice in this.
No, like that's anyway. Have you seen Judge Judy's new hair? How do you feel about it? My dad says looks a little harsh.
Rough go. Judge Judy's like 80.
I was like, Dad. He's like, that's just what it looked. Those are the facts. Like,
Judge
right.
Judy. No, I have not seen Judge Judy's new haircut.
Google it. She's instead of like the Kate Gosling, she's doing a ponytail, a lopo, a founding fathers, if you will.
Oh, that's not bad. Judge Judy looks like she's got some. Judith Shineland looks like she's got some work done.
She's got something going on. I feel like she's a regular at the gym under those robes, you know?
Yes, Paul. Yes, you would like to chime in.
More of like, I feel like Jeff Probst, TJ Lavin, all of these hosts shouldn't really even be in the bracket. Like, nobody tunes into Survivor to see Jeff Probst read the same lines that he has for 30 years.
Yeah, or listen to TJ Lavin do like audio pickups after the fact.
Yeah, I feel like the host should have been outlawed from this bracket.
Well,
That's
there's a
that's
couple.
my concern.
There are a couple hosts that people tune into. Like people tune into RuPaul's Drag Race for RuPaul.
Yes. And Simon Cowell obviously is massive.
Yeah.
Yes, there's
Gordon Ramsay too. That's fair. But you're right. Half of these could
certain
go.
ones, the ones that just read the same things and have no personality, like
how
TJ
is
Lavin
Padma
and Probst.
an 8 seed?
But see, I think people are torn on Padma.
I love Padma, but I'm just saying she's the same as Boston Rob. He's an 8 seed.
Yeah, but they're all in different brackets. Like they're all.
I
in, like,
know,
their
but
own
I'm just
collective
saying
brackets.
if we're talking about ranking, we're talking about notoriety, and that should be similar levels.
Yeah, but all of the hosts are more than likely going to be more known and more famous than the people in the other categories because they're on every season.
No, I'm saying Boston Rob's more well-known than Padma.
You think so?
By Survivor? It depends, right? It's food, it's Survivor, it's a little bit different. Niche markets.
Yeah, I guess this is what my wife and I got into an argument about like where people were seated. Like people on Big Brother and Survivor or even The Bachelor are going to get preference because the ratings for those shows are 20 times what they are for like an HGTV show.
Mm-hmm. But I think if you hit that crossover level, then it doesn't matter.
Like the
people know who you are when they don't even watch, then that's fine.
Like the Property Brothers.
Yeah, like shout out. That's Canadian, right?
Yeah, they are.
Aren't those
Canadian.
guys? They're Canadian, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they moved. I think they moved to the U.S. at this point.
So we still claim them, right? Can we have one thing on this list? Can we have anything nice, Pat?
Do we want to claim the Property Brothers? They seem like such goobers.
Yeah, I'll claim the Property Brothers. You wouldn't want them to do your house?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're people on reality TV. Like we both work in TV. We know how this works. Like none of this is real.
You're saying, what's the one who's the real estate agent? What's his name? I don't know the difference between them.
Yeah, the one goober, long face looking guy.
He's the one with the short hair, like the more like done up one. Drew.
Yeah, like what?
Andrew Alfred Scott. You're telling me that he doesn't absolutely just get his way on every single house negotiation he wants? You're saying that's set up?
Well, so I don't exactly know how it works, but either the people pay to be on the show. I think that's how it works. I think that's the model for that show.
Okay. And so you fund the reno?
Yeah. So like you
on top of buy a new property?
Yeah. So like you fund the reno to a certain point and then HGTV or the production company chips in the rest and then they do it.
Okay. Do you remember Trading Spaces?
I do.
That was like the original. And then remember their host Paige and then that Carpenter Ty, he got into some trouble, I think, though.
Okay. So he's been canceled?
I think Ty had a tough go after it. Yeah.
trying to think if there was another. No. Oh, yes. I was looking to buy a house about a year ago, and we went into a house that was a Property Brothers redesigned house.
Oh, was the work shoddy?
The work seemed pretty
Don't
good,
lie.
but it needed a new, like, both the main floor and the top floor were really nice, but the basement was like 4 feet high, and it needed to be dug out, and it had like leaks in it and all this stuff. And I was like, ugh, don't know about
So
this.
you guys didn't get it?
No, but they didn't advertise it as if it was a Property Brothers like redesign. My wife recognized it from seeing it on the show.
Interesting.
So
I feel like, I feel like that would be a benefit though.
maybe. So maybe there's just too many people to go through here. So
Okay. Well, I'm going Tim Gunn over Padma, just for the record.
well, that's the whole Padma
Make it
thing.
work. Make it work.
Tim Gunn wins. Like he won the
Easy.
vote.
Oh, did he? Good.
Yeah. So Padma's gone. She's launched. She's kind of
That's too
harsh
bad.
too. I mean, I get that she's a
I
judge.
like Padma.
Oh. Are you a big Top Chef person?
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
Do you watch
The
all
Food
like
Network was on 24/7.
Do you watch the spinoffs like Top Chef, whatever, Kids?
No, the kids ones are like kind of annoying. Is that rude? I don't know. I don't really love it. I like Chopped a lot because in my mind, I'm just like, there's no way these judges are actually enjoying these bastardized dishes, right? It's like, here's this basket with a phone book and a lamp, some miso paste and some noodles. See what you can do. And the judges are just like, oh, the aromatics of these pages in this phone book. You just made them so tender. It's like you're eating literal leather. So that's one of the ones where I have a little bit of suspicion about, but I still do watch it.
All right, so if we go to the headliner section, the overall superstars, Kim Kardashian's probably our pick to win.
Yeah.
Cardi B is in that one too, but so is Snooki. I think Snooki. Like, do people forget how big Jersey Shore was?
I don't think so. Jersey Shore gave an entire generation of young adults the okay, like the actual A-okay, to go to the bar and get blackout on a nightly basis and have no shame afterwards.
That's good. We had to get rid of that shame because people were doing that anyway. It was just, you
Get
didn't
rid of
tell
the
anyone.
stigma.
Yeah. Like, the Situation's a 1 seed, Snooki's a 3 seed, and they're the only 2 Jersey Shore cast members in this bracket. Like, you could throw Pauly D into this mix too, I think.
I once saw him play in Vegas. It was hilarious. He was at like the Playboy Club at the Palms, I think it was. And just the groupie situation around him was so funny. It was just, oh yeah, they were massive. I don't know how people forget, honestly, because it was for a long time. People are yelling cabs are here when your friends are over. I don't know. She's a big one for me. I prefer her over The Situation though. The Situation was a little creepy in that show. There was a little bit of like, you needed some consent before you made some moves, sir, going on in there.
Well, I mean, that's why he's The Situation. He gets himself in situations.
Yeah.
All sorts of situations.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like
he was like a little bit forceful early with Sam in the hot tub in the earlier seasons before she got with Ron.
I mean, she got with Ron like 2 episodes in.
Yeah, but before that, he was just like pressing himself on her.
Well, he had a situation on the go.
He wanted her to help with it. Well, he didn't ask for consent. Okay.
Well, I mean, he didn't also get consent from the government to not pay his taxes either. Then he went to jail.
I swear to God, I saw him in Vancouver last summer. I don't know if it was him though. It looked like him a lot.
I put a picture up on my Instagram from when I lived in New York, and I thought I was getting a picture with The Situation, but it wasn't The Situation. Like I think it's
just an Italian guy.
It was just like sort of a chubbier Italian guy. Because it was after The Situation lost The Situation. You know, like he was working as a bouncer at this place I was at. Like, this could be what The Situation is up to now. Like, that's not unrealistic.
It's just like kind of sad, right? When someone seemingly like tries to get their life together, like, sorry, I don't party anymore. I'm not really like that guy. And people are just like, oh, then I don't actually care about you. Like, you don't entertain me anymore.
Well, that was his kind of whole
You hate
appeal.
to see it.
You do.
I
And
know
he was old too, like by the context of that show. Like, we're older than he was then, but he was like 29 or 30. Actually, I have no idea how old you are. I assumed you're like 29.
I think he was like mid to late 20s for sure. He was older than all of them. And the tanning didn't help. The GTL, do you remember that?
GTL,
that was like a whole wave.
Do I remember it? It's still my way of life.
You do not tan stop.
I do not know. I used to.
You could.
I do. You know what? I do. I'm just going to throw this out here. This is a free space. This is a safe space to speak. I do tan in the wintertime. I go once every 2 weeks for 6 minutes because it makes me feel better in the middle of winter.
Do you do the stand up or the lie down?
Stand up.
Go full nude? Do you also use lotion? Do you use goggles? I have questions.
Yes, I used to buy, when I used to do the lay down ones back in the day, I'd buy like the dollar, like just put them on your eyes ones.
Yeah.
But I eventually invested in like a $4 pair of the really thin goggles with like the string around so it doesn't get the tan line right here. But yeah, I always buy like one lotion when I go. I don't want to get like burned when I go in there. At least, when it's super, like, and we live somewhere where it can get incredibly cold. When it's like minus 20 out and you're freezing and you go into a tanning bed, that's why I go in for like the 6 minutes. Like you get enough to like, it warms up your entire body. You just feel good when you leave. Like I wouldn't want to go, like some people go like every day for like 20 minutes. It's a bit much. That sounds very cancerous.
You want to avoid the melanoma at all costs. During the Jersey Shore days, a friend of mine and I used to run to the tanning salon in the dead of summer as like our exercise, go and lie down in like a hot bed for 20 minutes and then like run home after the fact. It was torturous, but we never looked better, honest to God.
The situation is currently 39 years old. So he would have been 30 on Jersey Shore season 1.
Yeah. Well, I said a little mid to early 20s, but yeah.
So,
listen, I told you he was kind of. Remember in Italy when he punched the concrete wall?
Yeah, I think because it went what? It went Jersey Shore, Miami, Jersey Shore, Italy. That was the.
I honestly don't remember. I just remember specifically them living in that like weird apartment castle thing, and I thought it was strange accommodations. I guess that's why it kind of resonates.
Yeah, they cranked out so many seasons so quickly.
It was so good. It was appointment television.
Season 1 was appointment television. I feel like most people gave up on it being appointment television halfway through season 2.
What's the last TV show that you remember being appointment television?
I still watch
the type where you're like, oh, it's back.
It's still The Challenge, which I watch every Wednesday at 8:00.
Okay.
Actually, I watch it every Wednesday at like 8:20, so I can fast forward through commercials.
Same.
Yeah, and me and Paul are still doing shows on it.
I know you love The Challenge. That's why I said sorry to you when I nixed TJ a little while ago.
Yeah, that's okay. TJ's one thing. He probably shouldn't be on here, but CT got a 2 seed.
I love CT.
And Bananas went up against Lisa Vanderpump in the first round and beat her.
What?
Yeah, well, he was actively tweeting out the polls.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. I'm surprised to hear that though. I feel like everything created equal. That doesn't happen.
No, because I like Bananas, but it's mainly because I like The Challenge. He's been on The Challenge for 20 seasons, but he's not. He's never really been the star of the show. He's pimped as the star of the show, but like CT has always been a bigger deal than Johnny Bananas. Johnny Bananas is just better at The Challenge.
Yeah, Johnny Bananas is a swooper, right? He comes in during critical moments and just like swoops up some attention. But I feel like, yeah, it's not like, what's the narrative around Johnny going to be this week? And let's build upon that.
Yeah, and CT is just CT. People, even when CT was the biggest scumbag on TV, people still like CT.
Because he had the saving grace of his girlfriend. What was her name?
DM. Yeah.
Yeah, that was what drew people in. And listen, women love an asshole who has like a tender heart. It's like, oh, maybe he'll change for me. It's like, yeah, that's just classic.
Also doesn't hurt, as I've heard this from many a people. CT, very attractive man.
He's cute. Yeah.
I'd say you're out on CT?
I'm not out on him. I'm not like knocking down people to get to him though.
Okay. Well, in the first round, he went up against Nick Viall from The Bachelor. Remember him?
Yeah, I do. And he won, CT?
Yeah, CT beat him. And like Nick commented on it being like, how am I losing to CT? I don't know who that is. And then people like went after Nick.
Nick, careful. He didn't realize what he was doing or really which bear he was poking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you would want CT, even CT these days. Like, he's an old man now. He's like 40, he's wildly overweight. Still beat the shit out of Nick. Nick's like my size. If that.
1,000%. I don't even think it matters the size. I think CT just has that like that switch in your head. You know, the one where you're just like, there's people you're just like, just don't mess with that guy or that girl. Leave them alone. Leave them out of it. You don't want it.
Who's your favorite Bachelor person ever?
Man, I feel like I wasn't really like in on The Bachelor a ton.
Until we
To be
started,
honest with you.
Still we started doing shows on it.
Yeah, but even still, like that was just like the precursor. It was like, let's talk about these characters. Let's see how they're going to be painted. I can tell you, I watched Peter's season, this one that just passed, and he was terrible as the male lead. Absolutely horrid. I didn't hate Rachel. She's doing some stuff for ESPN now, I believe. I think she has like some stuff for their radio station.
Yeah,
I think she had Kareem on for a date.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah. See, Rachel was way too normal. That's a problem on reality. Normal people on reality TV aren't great for reality TV. Like the
so
fact
you
that
love Juan Pablo.
I do love Juan Pablo. Juan Pablo is the answer to this question.
This is what you're getting at. I'm like,
Yes.
hold on, let's just get to the point. Stop asking me my opinions you don't care about. Let's just talk about Juan Pablo being the ultimate womanizer. He was just like, so we're hooking up, right? This is just like a hookup show, and the producer are just like putting it on a platter for me. Perfect.
Yeah, he treated The Bachelor like it was Tinder. but back when Tinder was awesome.
1,000%. He was just swiping right and left. He's like, you don't want to be here? I don't know what to say. Go ahead then.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sleep with everyone, and it's gonna be hilarious.
What was he supposed to do? Not sample the goods?
How could he
show some restraint? How dare he?
Well, we can claim Caitlyn too as Canadians because she's on this list because she slept with Nick like halfway through the season, and people are like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you slept with anyone." She's like, "I want to fuck. Let's go."
I've been hanging out with all these broads for like 3 weeks. All we do is drink and talk about the same guy. Like, geez.
Oh yes, Paul.
How did the Chad not get like a 16 seed here?
I
though?
forgot about
the Chad.
the
was
Chad.
Amazing. I'm sorry.
He got kicked
That
off
was great
Bachelor.
TV.
He got kicked off Bachelor in Paradise after one episode for trying to kill Chris Harrison.
Exactly. That should be good enough for a 16 seed. Just so
wait,
that
is
you guys
Joey
can bring it
Greco
up.
on here?
I don't know.
The guy who got stabbed from cheaters?
No, he is not on here.
You remember him?
No.
No? The host from, you remember the show Cheaters?
Yeah.
Obviously. The host got stabbed on a boat during a confrontation.
And I don't remember
on the
this.
show. Oh my god, it was amazing. Like
Is
it
he-
was terrible for
did he
him.
die?
He's fine.
Oh.
No, he's fine. But yeah, the boyfriend that got confronted, they boarded his ship, which I think is actually illegal in international waters. But anyway, they stabbed him. Like the boyfriend stabbed him for getting him caught.
Wow. That's exciting TV. I have to go watch this clip.
And then I think that was it for him. And then he called it a day after that.
He didn't want to get stabbed anymore in the face of being on the host of Cheaters.
I loved that show.
Like, would Maury count on this? Or Jerry Springer?
No, that's not reality. That's real.
Okay, so what other do you watch Vanderpump?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so you don't have hot takes on like Jax and Stassi?
Not really. I feel like Stassi is like friends with the Kardashians. That's how I know her. So I'm out on her. I barely care.
She just released a book and it's called Basic Bitch, and it went to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list.
Doesn't everything go to #1 on the New York bestsellers list? Like I feel like that's not really as like no offense to New York bestsellers because I am certainly not one. So congrats on people buying your books, but I feel like it's not as prestigious as it used to be. Do you think there's any truth in that?
I think there's just so many different categories of the New York Times bestsellers list that like
Right.
you can follow. It's like when, hey, I won a Grammy. Well, what'd you win for? I won Best Bluegrass Album. It's like, oh, okay.
No, that still counts. Hey.
Or then it all counts then.
Okay, no. So I'm out on Stassi. I'm out on this Jax person. Lisa's the only one that I knew, but apparently she got taken down by Johnny Bananas. Who else is interesting?
Do you have a favorite housewife?
No.
Just straight up no across the board?
I'm not like a big Housewives person. I kind of watched the New York one, as I mentioned Bethany before. But that was pretty much it. That was just not something that was occupying my time. I think I was too busy watching, Jersey Shore, real television.
So I get sucked into a lot of these. I just watched the season of Jersey.
First of all, don't pretend like you get sucked into it like you don't enjoy it.
Listen, there are a few I really do enjoy, and I am Not going to lie about those. The Housewives shows are a bit much for me. The only one I can kind of stomach is Beverly Hills because it has Denise Richards on it. And I love Denise Richards.
Isn't she in like a female relationship now with one of the other participants?
Yeah. That is.
Yeah, see, I'm in on that now.
That is this season. Although they talk about Charlie Sheen all the time, but Sheen's got to make a comeback at some point. This seems like a perfect avenue for him. Be on reality TV, Chuck Sheen. Yeah.
He was a reality character for a hot minute there with the Tiger Blood.
He was just in the news.
I know, but it seems like a reality show a little bit, didn't it? His life?
It seemed like a reality show, but that's why it wasn't a show. He was just like actually in the press doing crazy stuff.
Man, we've seen some things.
Yeah?
We have seen some things.
Okay. Did you watch any of the Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop, any of those ones?
No.
Because that's where
But who are we talking about? I know where she comes from.
Yeah, it was her, and like Joe Budden was another one from one of those shows, wasn't he?
Yes, I feel the guy with the podcast. Yeah, Joe Budden. Yeah. So I have seen a number of clips from, I guess it was the finale show where they kind of bring all the ladies together, the Real Housewives type of thing, and then they talk through things or issues with the host. And that's when I've seen Cardi just absolutely just having some words with some of her fellow cast members.
There are two shows that I think two of them are represented on this list because Flavor of Love has Flava Flav and New York is on this list too. Absolutely. I love New York. She had her own show.
Twice that she had her own show, I thought. She got done so dirty. If you remember, so Flavor of Love season 1, she makes it to the finals and then she loses. I don't remember the woman that she lost to. And then she gets brought back for season 2 by Flava Flav, and she's supposed to help eliminate contestants. She's supposed to be his voice of reason, whatever, his eyes and ears. And then halfway through, she gets brought back in, only to be eliminated at the end again and lose to someone named Delicious, I think it was. I think that was season 2. Well, and I felt so bad for her.
Well, you couldn't feel that bad. She got her own show called I Love New York.
I still feel bad.
I guess
it's still embarrassing. It's still embarrassing regardless. If you actually like thought this man who wears a clock for a living was going to like wife you.
How tall do we think Flava Flav is?
5'5".
5, and he's what, like 60 years old now?
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe older.
If I said 55 and a half over underage for Flava Flav. Really?
Over. I'm looking it up now too. He's 61.
He's 60. Wow. Is he still wearing
59?
He just got kicked out of Public Enemy. So.
No.
Yeah. Chuck D was like, yeah, it's enough, man. You got to show up to things if we're actually going to do stuff. And he doesn't really do anything. I saw Public Enemy in 2009 at Bonnaroo, and it was insane. It's the first time I saw someone smoke crack in person. That's one. That was someone in the crowd just smoking crack. I was like,
oh,
whoa.
I thought it was Flava Flav on stage.
Flava Flav wouldn't get off the stage after they were done. And he was just he's like, watch me play the drums now. And he would just take one drumstick and just start smashing the cymbals like a crazy person.
What are you going to do? That's what you would do up there.
Our set is over. I would get off the stage. It was like 3:00 in the morning.
I'm looking this up now. Public Enemy fire Flava Flav after Bernie Sanders rally spat. We thank him for his years of service.
Yeah,
and wish him well. That's the official statement from his friends.
Well, Public Enemy is just him and Chuck D, I think. So it's like Chuck D fired him.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a rough go. But because of Flava Flav, he is the only Surreal Life person from this. Remember when China and Mini-Me were on a season?
Yes.
And
R.I.P. China.
And I assume Mini-Me. I think Mini-Me is still alive.
Yes, he is.
But X-Pac kept showing up on the show, and like China was having like drinking problems. It was a mess.
And there was that other woman, tall, blonde, slick back. I feel like she got together with Flava Flav at some point. Was she British? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, isn't that Brigitte Nielsen?
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife? Paul?
Sad news. Vern Troyer, also known as Mini-Me, passed away April 21st, 2018.
Oh, so he died 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Rough go for Surreal Life.
So I guess.
Surreal
Thanks,
Life.
bearer of bad news. The pallbearer of bad news. Damn.
There was a Surreal Life episode that had Rick James and Vanilla Ice on it, and it was just Rick James making fun of Vanilla Ice for like 60 straight minutes, and it was hilarious. He kept pointing. He kept pointing to the wall with Vanilla Ice because Vanilla Ice is like a house flipper now. I think like he has like a real job. Like he kind of like he's no longer Vanilla Ice. He's Rob whatever. And Rick James is like, you'll always be that guy. You'll never not be that guy, and you suck. You're just off the charts.
Like leave him alone. He's trying to make an honest living instead of do mall tours at the age of 45. Let him go.
Yeah, and Rick James wasn't even on that season. He just showed up on that season as like a special guest. That had Eric Estrada, Ron Jeremy, and Vanilla Ice.
Wild crew.
Oh, so here we go.
Which house would you rather be a part of?
So
that one, the Vern Troyer, or the in China one?
So the next one, the Flava Flav one, had Flava Flav, Charo, Brigitte Nielsen, Jordan Knight, Dave Coulier, and Ryan Starr.
Which one would you rather be in?
I don't know.
I think I'm going with the Vanilla Ice house, to be honest.
Who's Christopher Knight? Oh, he's on the Brady Bunch. Yeah,
wasn't he one of the sons?
Vern Troyer, Christopher Knight, China, Da Brat.
Oh, I like her.
They need to bring this show back.
Okay, who would be on it though? So it has to be people that like wore things. People still care because of emotional.
The situation is definitely on the next recasting of the Surreal Life.
So basically, everyone who lost in the first round of this ringer bracket gets to be on the Surreal Life.
Okay, that's how we should end this. Let's draft our Surreal Life team from this bracket.
I'm fine with that. Okay, so what do we get to choose? 4 each? 5 each?
I say we choose 3. I think there's 6 people in the Surreal Life house.
Okay.
So
we'll choose
I think the situation's a lock.
I think so too. I think Abby Lee Miller, who we didn't get to, the Dance Moms woman, she was the dance instructor for a reality TV show called Dance Moms, I believe it was. And she was just an insane person. Like she screamed at these girls. She ran the place like she was honestly a little Hitler-esque. She was very intense. And I think she went to jail for tax evasion.
Okay. Would you put her or Honey Boo Boo in first?
I would put Abby Lee Miller because I feel like she would stir it up a little bit more. If I'm a producer, like Honey Boo Boo would be a big get, but I feel like based on what we know about her, she might be a little more like low key, like she just kind of hangs out on the couch, maybe with some snacks.
We didn't talk about this, but in the host and judges section, do you know who is not represented in this bracket?
Aside from Judge Judy?
Besides Judge Judy, yes.
Who? What's on your mind?
Trump.
Ugh.
I mean, if Omarosa is going to be a 3 seed, like Trump is probably one of like the 16 most memorable hosts of any of these things.
He did get the presidency based on "You're fired."
Yeah, great deal. And great deals.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. He'd go in the house though, but he wouldn't lose in the first round. So, okay, so let's go Dog.
Oh, Dog the Bounty Hunter for sure.
Dog the Bounty Hunter for sure in the Surreal House.
Do we bring New York back?
We could, if she's up for it. She might be too big. She might want an executive producer credit now.
Maybe. Kendra Wilkinson made the bracket, so she was in
She was in the Hugh Hefner show.
Yeah, she was in the Hugh Hefner Girlfriend show, and she had her own show, which I used to watch with Hank Baskett, who used to be a receiver for the Eagles, and it was horrible.
Didn't he have some kind of, he like cheated on her, but then it ended up being that he like was bisexual or something?
I don't remember if it was he cheated and it turned out he was bisexual, or he cheated with a woman who turned out to be a man. It was one of those two things.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I just Googled Hank
2014 sex scandal.
I Googled Hank Baskett cheating, and the first thing that pops up is Hank Baskett sure picked the wrong transgendered weed dealer.
What? What a headline. Oh my God.
And that's from NBC Sports.
Okay, so Hank tells people it was... what did he say? He saw 2 naked transgender women making out with each other and he froze, apparently. At this point, Hank says one of the women approached him and, per People's reporting, fondled him through his basketball shorts. I didn't engage in anything, Hank said. It was like a bank robbery. You never know when you'll freeze. Hank, you're a liar. Does anyone believe that?
No. No one believes that.
It was like an armed robbery.
But Kendra, we could probably throw on here.
Kendra gets in the house. Get in the house.
Yeah, she seems like a perfect Surreal
I like
Life
Kendra
person.
a lot because she was the one of the 3 girlfriends who was kind of like the Hugh Hefner girlfriends who was still allowed to be herself a little bit. Do you remember she was like slightly ratchet? She kind of like had a little edge to her. The other girls were very girly and she was like the tomboy version of the Playboy model.
She looked like a good athlete.
I feel like she could deadlift.
Yeah, she seems very tall.
No, I think she's small.
Is she? She looks tall. Like here's her.
No,
Like standing. I mean, maybe she's just wearing heels in this picture next to Hank.
I think she's short.
Hammer and Hank's like 6'4". He's a big dude.
Yeah. Okay, so who do we have? We have.
You know what? I'm gonna make an executive decision and throw Amanda Bynes into this house. Like she seems like a perfect Surreal Life person.
No, she's going through it. You cannot. No one who's actively battling something with their mental health. Have a little compassion, sir.
Aren't these the people that we want to get on these shows?
No, this is why you'd make millions of dollars as a producer and I'd be dead broke. Like, I don't know. I feel like they're going through something. Maybe just like don't include them in the storyline right now.
Okay, so we're not. So we're gonna
go.
Who is the
put on Jay Cutler.
No, Jay Cutler's not doing. Like he wouldn't even. He just sit there. He wouldn't do anything.
What do you mean? You don't think he'd just like low key roast under his breath?
No. Like get him in an NFL booth. Make him an analyst of some sort where he can just be like shit talking people the entire time.
Okay, how about your boy Juan Pablo?
Oh yeah, Juan Pablo is a good one.
Throw him in there. He can hook up with Kendra.
Yeah, you're gonna say there's 100% chance he hooks up with Kendra.
Yeah, 1,000%. Okay, so who do we have right now?
So we have with the 3 guys, we have Dog, The Situation, and Juan Pablo. Kendra, the mom from Dance Moms.
Abby Lee Miller. She's not a mom. She's the instructor owner. Put some respect on her name, please.
That means we have room for 1 more female participant.
Ooh.
Is there a disgraced housewife we can get?
That's your turn. Should we just throw Kate in?
Oh, yeah, Kate Gosling. There we go.
Between her or Honey Boo Boo, I'll let you choose.
I feel like if we have a Dance Moms, we probably don't need Honey Boo Boo as well.
Okay.
We need to cast a wide net here. It's a lot of TLC.
There is a lot of TLC, which, that's where we hold them in the hierarchy of reality stars.
So, Situation, Dog, Juan Pablo, Kendra, Kate Gosling, and your girl Dance Moms.
Does Dog make a pass at Kate Gosling?
Oh, for sure. Maybe tries to get her to add some more volume to that hair, some pink lipstick. She'll be good to go.
That's his move. He's like, so talk to me about your conditioner because she has long hair now. And then he's in there.
There we are. Ashley Docking, where can everyone follow you?
You hate this part about me. You can follow me on Twitter at SmartAsh. You can follow me on Instagram at What's Up Doc, and the O in Doc is a 0.
What was
that?
Still
doing that. And there's no A in smart.
Yeah, there's no A in smart.
Ash, isn't there?
Yeah, it's SMRT.
Yeah,
I am so smart.
Naturally.
Did you just hype up a TikTok account?
No, I don't have TikTok. Well, I do have it, but I don't use it. I just feel like my public isn't really ready for it,
I don't know if I can get into it. I feel like I'm too old.
Have you tried?
I feel like I'm too old.
You're not too old.
I'm not?
You're not too old. So, this woman actually just got TikTok famous. I forget her name right now, but she just got like this big TV show deal because she was on TikTok, and she's older than both of us.
Well, it sounds like I need to get on TikTok so I can get myself. I need my TV show back. I need to get something going.
Exactly. I think it's your next move.
All right. Thanks for being on.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I'm Pat Mayo. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at the PME. Remember to like the episode and tell me your favorite reality TV character of all time in the comment section. And for the audio podcast, leave a 5-star review and tell me something you enjoy about this show after you subscribe. And that will really help out the show. So thank you for doing that in advance. I'm Pat Mayo. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!